Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the Killzone Gallowdark rules, focusing on walls and cover. Kill Team Into the Dark has introduced some new rules to the game, and I'll be covering those rules in 3 videos. This is the first video where we'll look at walls and cover. The second video will focus on hatchways, and the third video will focus on close quarters. Into the Dark has given us this new Killzone Gallowdark. Now this is played on a different size board. It's going to be a 607mm by 704mm area, and it's going to use those close quarter rules that we'll be covering in the third video. But there's also lots to consider as we fight through hatchways, manoeuvre around walls, and use that to our advantage with cover. There are no vantage points in Killzone Gallowdark either, so we've got to work our way around this terrain a little bit differently than we're maybe used to before. Right, let's get started with the walls. So all parts of a wall terrain feature have both the heavy and wall traits. And just as a reminder, the heavy terrain provides cover and is also obscuring. Some walls will have hatchways, and hatchways are treated as a separate terrain feature, and we'll be going into that in more detail in the next video. Operatives cannot move over or through wall terrain regardless of any other rules, other than as a result of the accessible trait, and the accessible trait is linked to hatchways, which we'll cover in the next video. Visibility lines cannot be drawn over or through wall terrain. And an operative is never a valid target if every cover line drawn to it crosses wall terrain. Range cannot be measured over or through wall terrain. You must measure around it using the shortest possible route. Now we've covered the wall terrain feature, let's have a look at some examples of cover terrain where walls are concerned. In this example, a cover line does not cross a corner or end of the wall. Therefore, the orc is not in cover. And note that minor parts of the wall that protrude do not make a corner or end alone. So this section of the wall here is not going to provide any cover. It must be the main structure of the wall that turns a corner or ends, and we'll have a look at that in some other examples now. Here we can see that a cover line crosses a corner of the wall, therefore the orc is in cover. But if the Space Marine moves slightly, you can now see that the cover line does not cross the corner of the wall because that Marine has moved past that corner, so now the orc is not in cover. If the Space Marine moved slightly more around that corner, you would see that the cover line would go over the corner of the wall again, and so that in that respect the orc would be in cover, but in this position it's not. In this next example we've got an end wall, and you can see that a cover line crosses the end wall, therefore the orc is in cover. This example is going to be a little bit different because we've got a hatchway. When the hatchway is closed, it's part of the wall, so it has the wall trait, but when it's open, it does not have the wall trait. When it's open, you can have visibility through it to the other side, and so you can draw the cover lines from the Marine to the orc. Even though the hatch is open, every other part of that wall still has the heavy and wall traits. In this example, one cover line goes from the Marine straight through the open hatchway to the orc, but another cover line will be going from the Marine through a wall then to the orc. So in this case, the orc would have cover. However, when the orc is more than white from the wall, the orc would also be obscured. That covers the Killzone Gallowdark walls, and we've looked at range and cover using a few examples. I hope you found this video helpful, and it'll be great if you come and join me for the next 2 videos where we'll be looking at hatchways and then close quarter battles. If you haven't ordered your Into the Dark box set yet but would like to, please check out my sponsor Firestorm Games. I'll put a link in the description down below that will take you to their website where you'll save up to 20% on all your hobby products. They've also sent me a special code that will save you an additional 5% on top of those savings. So all the information's down below, just follow the link, copy and paste the code and make yourself some savings. If you'd like to see more content about Into the Dark, then check out my unboxing video. Then I go through how to build the Kroot Farstalkers and the build option for the Navy Breachers. Once you've seen that, you might want to start preparing your terrain before you paint it. And then after that, I've got a how to paint the terrain to a quick and easy tabletop ready standard. I've also covered how to paint the barricades in 2 different ways, and then on top of that you might want to paint your gauges too, so I show you how you can do it for your favourite faction or chapter, or go the traditional route and paint it in this metallic effect. And with everything painted, it's time to get playing, so if you haven't seen all the rules for the core game yet, then please check out my How to Play series where I go through everything you need to know to start playing the game. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and don't forget to hit that notification bell too to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters who make these daily videos possible, and if you're interested in joining the community, it'd be awesome to see you there, and I'll put a link for that in the description down below.